Ogun State, southwest Nigeria, is assuming some notorious identity as a center for heinous crime. Reports say the prime suspects in the gruesome murder of a couple, Kehinde and Bukola Fatonye, in Abeokuta, the state capital, has escaped from police custody. Although the police in the state are yet to confirm the developments, the prime suspects, simply identified as Lekon, the driver to the deceased Mrs. Fationye, for almost 2 years, was said to have escaped from custody at the Ibarra Police Divisional Headquarters after his arrest on Tuesday. Let's share the story with you.
The last that was heard from the police on the investigation on the murder of Kehinde Fationye and his family members in Abeokuta was the arrest of a suspect who they claimed to have been helping them with useful information. But the situation appears to have changed with the rumor of his escape spreading on social media and some online news platforms. Although the name and the identity of the suspect was not disclosed by the police, but the news spreading on social media indicate that Lekon Adekombi, who they claim to be a driver of the family, was the suspect. Meanwhile, the surviving victim of the attack, who was the househelp of the family, had mentioned when he was taken to Ogun River for identification of the corpse of Oreoluwa Fatinoye that the police should look for a man he simply called Brother Lekon. Efforts to confirm the authenticity of the rumored escape of the suspect proved abortive, as the police public relations officer could not be reached as at the time of filing this report. However, sources within the police say they are making headway on the investigation, but they cannot confirm or deny the issue relating to the suspect escape. Kazim Olowe, TVC News, Abeokuta.
Barry, you want to just give us a kind of insight into this story?
Yeah, well, it's a very funny development, and my greatest concern now is the approach of the police to the whole thing. Yeah, why? Do you know? Weeks after this incident, we are still referring to the only suspect we have as somebody identified as Lekon. Mm-hmm. What investigation has the police done? Mm-hmm. If you don't get me, nothing deep, not even his full identity in this age and time. We still say somebody simply identified as Lekon because that's the best police has given us. You can't find his name. I'm sure they may not have his address. By now we should have his full details. If somebody was arrested and he escaped from custody, obviously he has something to hide. Now we don't have his details. Not to talk of the details of those who are still at large. It is sad that things like this are happening. It is unfortunate. Stories are flying around. Reasons are being adduced. But because these are not verified, we cannot begin to talk about it. But the police by now should be able to tell us more than they are telling us. To now have a situation where the only suspect, as we just saw him in the video now, he was limping, obviously wounded, escaped from able-bodied policemen who were carrying arms. Why? Sometimes the police itself makes it difficult for people like you and I to defend them. Sometimes you want to say that police, they can try when they are willing to. But when things like this happen, how do you begin to tell people that all these policemen with guns and all this watched that young man
from custody at the Ibarra Police Divisional Headquarters in Abeokuta?
He escaped.
Police headquarters.
So somebody told me that the DPO was invited, and shouldn't the DPO, be singing now and telling us what happened? It is not possible for such a serious crime to have been committed, and the only link to revealing what happened, you come to tell Nigerians he escaped. They were taking him somewhere, or he was he was going to take his bath. He was allowed to go and shower. What kind of explanation are these? Then, how is the police itself painting itself when you tell us that you can no longer keep in custody a criminal?
The prime suspect.
If people turn around and say police is involved or somehow has a hand in culpable in this, we will say no, we shouldn't draw conclusions. But from the little we can see today, this crime would need more than the police is currently doing for it to be unraveled.
Certainly, there's more to this story than what we can see.
Yeah. This is what my people will call, you can't make this up. This if there would be a novel, you would think that somebody was a fantastic writer. For two reasons. One, it is the fact that somebody escaping from police custody, you cannot be this quiet. They must have his driver's license because it's meant to be a driver. That's the easiest form of identification. That should have been splashed all over newspapers in the last 2 days. Basically to know exactly what, even if you don't want to go that far, there are police sketch masters who draw sketches. And they should give it to us, but those are for those who have not arrested. You have the man, you've taken his prints, you must have done what they do, this sideways, whatever profile.
Picture and all that.
We don't have that, because all over the world, where they escape from custody, that's the first thing you will see.
You don't even have his name.
That will tell you the height, will tell you the skin complexion, and tell you, yeah. Well, this looks like something that somebody is trying very hard to
By now they should tell us his surname, the village he's from, so that we will know his relatives. It's possible we know somebody who should know him.
Show us the preliminary things they did.
What have you done? What investigation have you done?
When he was arrested.
They are still telling us to simply identify
It's
as
unfortunate that we keep going back to
and lives have been lost.
Because
Precious life for them.
because I think they know that our attention span is very
Then we will soon move on to something else.
that in the next 1 week, another story will break, and this one will be confined to the dustbin of history. It's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate.
But the police are our last hope. And this cannot happen and then get away like this. It's not possible.
Can we really have any hope? In this particular case, we are the only suspect escapes from those who should investigate him.
And no information to tell us. who he is.
So they kept him for almost a week. They didn't ask him anything. They did not take him to his house to search.
No confession.
Is there no confessional statement? Hey, why? You see, when things like this happen, you begin to lose hope in the system. You begin to feel something fundamentally wrong
It's unfortunate.
is happening to us as a nation.